Dota 2. It's a video game, and a pretty popular one right now. You might not know much about it, but you've heard the excitement during a major tournament. You've seen that this year's International has a prize pool of over $18 million. Even if you aren't interested in playing, you'd like to watch and see what all the fuss is about. So you decide to give it a shot. You tune in, and it's all incredibly pretty and it looks very professional and people are clearly rather excited. Then a giant snowball rolls at a magical horse and there's an Australian yelling enthusiastically about popping BKBs and channeling ultimates.
Now we can play call one on wall and into the back! Huge hit on Tofu! They've lost 3! They've lost 4! It's a disaster! They've lost 5! No V!
You turn off the stream, head is spinning, is all too much too fast. But don't despair. Dota 2 can be a blast to watch, even for someone new to the game. Here's what you need to know to enjoy watching Dota 2. Let's start by going back to basics. Dota 2 is a 5-on-5 game, where 2 teams of 5 heroes, known as the Radiant and the Dire, take to a fixed battlefield with the goal of fighting their way into the opponent's base and destroying a large central structure, known as the Ancient. Dota 2 always takes place on the same map. Let's take a look at it. The map is split into 2 sides, divided by a river. On the lower left is the Radiant side, while the top right is the Dire side. The sides are not identical, but all the key features are in roughly symmetrical positions. Each side has a base where the team respawns. They may return to the spawning area known as the Well at any time to recover health and mana. The base is also the location of the precious Ancient. There are 3 key routes between the 2 bases: top lane, middle lane and bottom lane. The forested areas in between are known as the jungle. Also along each lane are towers, buildings which function as defensive turrets that will deal heavy damage to any nearby enemy unit. Each team has 11 towers, 3 along each lane and 2 more defending their Ancient. There are also several shops dotted around the map, where heroes may buy items to help them in their fight, and this mysterious red pit, home to an especially powerful creature. We'll meet him later. Before we get into more details, let's re-outline the key objective. Each team is aiming to push down 1 or more of the 3 lanes, destroying each of the enemy's towers along the way, until they can get into the opposing base and destroy the final 2 towers and the Ancient. To do so, they will fight each other, earning experience to level up and become stronger, and gold to spend on items. If you want a quick gauge of who's ahead in a game, however, don't worry about levels and items, just look at the remaining towers. The fewer a team has, the closer they are to losing. As previously mentioned, our 2 competing teams take on the roles of the Radiant and the Dire. Each team is comprised of any 5 heroes chosen from a pool of over 100. Each hero is unique, making learning them all a mammoth task, so don't worry about it. As a viewer, knowing the ins and outs of every hero isn't necessary, so you can look at things in a much broader and simpler sense. In a competitive game, the teams take turns to draft the 5 characters they want to play, not unlike picking teams in a school sports lesson. Teams also get a chance to ban, removing a few heroes from the draft pool so that no one may pick them. Once the heroes are chosen, the match can begin. When a game starts, computer-controlled monsters known as creeps will spawn at both bases, travelling down each of the 3 lanes towards the opposing base and attacking any enemy they encounter along the way. All the heroes start each match at level 1. At this point, known as the laning phase, they aren't strong enough to fight one-on-one or take on enemy towers. So the first goal is to start earning experience and gold. This is most easily done by killing the enemy creeps. Players may also head into the jungle areas where they can fight camps of neutral monsters. At the start of a match, keep an eye out for how teams are arranging themselves. Do they send 2 heroes into the middle lane to put pressure on a single opponent? Is one hero assigned to simply clearing out jungle camps and staying away from the lanes at first? The best way to keep track of a match is via the mini-map. Each hero is a different colour, which can be seen over their picture along the top of the screen. Take a look at the map and watch how the heroes are moving around. Is someone sneaking around behind an enemy? That might indicate a surprise attack is on the way. Has someone gone back to base? The other team might be looking to take advantage of the numbers game during their absence. When a fight breaks out, don't worry about abilities and items being used. Instead, focus on positioning and movement. Is a hero separated from their team and vulnerable? Does someone jump into the enemy team to catch them off guard with a big move? Are heroes being dragged out of position by an enemy, or forced to move by a skill? As a newcomer, it can often feel like the commentators in a professional Dota 2 match are speaking another language. But even if you don't understand quite what they're on about, listening to their tone can be very informative. You might not quite grasp the nuance when you hear that Invoker has been doomed, but the way it's said will indicate that this means nothing but trouble for Invoker's team. The game's been going for a while now, but who is winning? Take a look at the map control. Map control indicates where heroes are generally safe to move. Initially, each side controls half the map. As a team loses towers, it loses map control, meaning less safe areas on the map for that team's heroes. Once the third tower in a lane is destroyed, 2 buildings at that base entrance are exposed, the Barracks. When these are destroyed, the creeps spawning at the other base become permanently stronger in that lane, making them harder to defend against. Killing enemy heroes is important, however the key to winning is securing objectives. There are 3 easy objectives to look out for. The first 2 are destroying towers and barracks. Unlike heroes, these don't come back, so securing one is a key step towards earning victory. The third objective takes us back to that mysterious red pit, home to Roshan. Allied to neither side, Roshan is a powerful monster who lives in a small area of the map. If a team can strike the killing blow on Roshan, they not only gain a big golden experience boon, but may also claim a special item, the Aegis of the Immortal. The hero who carries the Aegis will be resurrected almost immediately upon death, consuming it in the process. This is an incredibly powerful tool in a fight, so you will often see the team who claims it taking more risks, buoyed by the added security it provides. In a tight engagement, claiming Roshan's bounty can give the team the impetus it needs to win that key fight and destroy the enemy ancient for glorious victory. And that's pretty much everything you need to know. Get out there and enjoy it. Before I leave you, however, I thought I'd end on a few other fun things to look out for once you've gotten to grips with the basic structure. Every 2 minutes, starting from 0, runes will spawn at 2 areas on the map. These provide temporary boosts to the hero that collects them. Fast movement, invisibility, health and mana regeneration, increased damage, weak clones of that hero, or a golden experience bonus. Each team has a courier. This is a small creature which can move around the map, ferrying items from various shops to the heroes on that team. If a team's courier is killed, however, they lose access to it until it respawns, and they cannot reclaim any items it was carrying at the time until then either. 2 consumable items to watch out for are smoke and dust. Smoke turns nearby friendly heroes invisible until they move into close proximity of an opponent, and is often used to perform a surprise attack on an unsuspecting hero or to sneak into Roshan's pit. Conversely, dust reveals any invisible enemies around the user and slows them down, opening them up for attack. There are too many items in Dota 2 to learn off the bat, but if you want to get a feel for them, here are 4 of the most common and useful items to know about and watch out for. The Town Portal Scroll, also known as a TP or Teleport Scroll, may be consumed by a hero to travel to any friendly building, whether in their base or a tower out in lane. It's incredibly useful for getting to places quickly, so most heroes will carry one at all times. However, there is a short travel period during which the teleport may be interrupted by enemy disables. The bottle can be used to regain a sizable chunk of health and mana. It contains 3 charges, which may be refilled by returning the bottle to the well in your base, or by picking up a rune from the river. Collecting a rune will also store that rune in the bottle for up to 2 minutes, allowing it to be consumed at any time. Bottles are incredibly useful and most frequently used by the player in mid lane. The Blink Dagger is a powerful item which allows the holder to teleport a short distance once every few seconds. It can be used both offensively and defensively, but with one caveat. The blink dagger is unusable for 3 seconds after taking damage, so it cannot save the user from every situation. The Black King bar is one of the most iconic Dota 2 items. Often shortened to BKB, the Black King bar makes a hero invulnerable to magic damage and to disables for several seconds, indicated by that hero turning into a giant glowing golden version of themselves. It too comes with a caveat, however. The duration it lasts for decreases slightly after each use, so a hero who overuses their BKB may find it running out at a critical moment. And that really is it. Get out there and watch some Dota 2. If you have any specific questions about something you've watched, or just want to talk about a cool game or moment that you saw, please do leave a comment on the video. If this has been helpful to you, be sure to bop that like button and feel free to subscribe to the channel for other content from me. I've been Ken, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers!